it's your girl, Gloria.
Yeah.
Here with
myself, Rita.
Come on.
Yeah.
So thanks. It's been an amazing time, amazing conversations.
Yeah.
And today we just want to pick up from where we left off the last time. And we were looking at identity. And where, this is such a broad conversation. It's such a broad area of discussion. And we just wanted to today now just look a bit more into what we actually thought of as identity in the past and what it was like, how we got to the things we thought we knew, just learn and unlearn, identify, be conscious of all of those items. And again, we are going to be using the method where we pick up like a couple of questions, because it also allows you to also be part of it as you also respond and just give us feedback on what's happening.
Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, so I think this is a thing now. They should call us the two girls and a boy.
Two girls and a boy. I love marketing.
Yeah. So I
story.
know, right?
Yeah.
This is me. But I like that we have these questions. We don't overwhelm ourselves with this identity thing. Let's have questions that are actually very specific and very answer. So that you don't overwhelm everybody.
Yeah,
because
okay.
But speaking for myself, it's not that I've hacked this identity thing. Me, sometimes I think my role is my identity. I forget.
Yeah.
And so I think just having some questions to,
guide
us the conversation will help even you who is not understanding why we picked identity as a topic to understand and maybe even question yourself. Because I think the whole point of this identity thing is to question. Yes. And she said, she said to audit people. We are auditing. So this is the first question. Growing up, did anyone ever teach you about identity? Hell no. Hell no. I don't even know there was anyone who was around me who knew what identity is. Like, you're a girl. Do what girls do.
Yeah.
You're an adolescent. You're a single parent child. You're this, you're that. And so they thought they knew, and so they were telling me all these things that were surrounding that they were feeling. Even sometimes it's about a feeling. So they are telling you, you should act like this. They judge you and they tell you who you are. And so personally, there was nobody around me who ever sat me down and was like, kuna kakitu kanaitwa identity.
Yeah.
Nakanakaaga hivi.
Yeah.
Hii. No, never.
Yeah.
Yes, I think the first episode we ever did was what is the thing that we found out the hard way?
Yes.
This could be it for me. Identity. I had to just navigate identity by myself. Okay. What about you?
Similarly, I never had any discussions around identity, this is what identity is, this is what it means, this is what it's supposed to do. And what it's ended up being is people would throw words at you. They would tell you things, and along the way you're supposed to pick up on who you are, but it's never been like something you sit down and discuss. The like important things, like finances.
Yes.
You sit down and you're taught this is what money is, this is what money should do, this is how you grow money, this is how you behave with money. Unfortunately, I feel like some of the most critical and key things, you just kind of learn them by the way, and as you grow older, you hear these words and then people start defining them. And I thank God, because today, this is something that we're discussing, this is something that we're looking at, this is something that we're interested in. But short answer is no, I never had it structured that way. No one has ever had a discussion with me about my identity, what identity is, what it should look like. But I have had people tell me, you are this, you should do this as this. Yeah.
And I think that's the worst part, is that you find out all the wrong things, or all the wrong perceptions,
the hard
way. Well, ideally, no. Even I don't even think. But to be fair, even them, I don't think
they knew. It's not conscious. So it's God's grace that we know today that it's something.
Yeah, and that's
God's timing.
Yeah, and that's why I think I think that's one of the major reasons why we think we have something to tell you.
Yeah.
Is because we are sharing the good news.
Yeah.
Very cliche, but yes, it's the good news now because we know.
Yeah.
Why not share?
Yeah.
Yes, and we are living in an age where we can share very easily. And so that is, I think, one of the reasons why that dictates us to talk about identity.
Cool.
Alright.
Especially the thing about you didn't know something, then you knew you didn't know something, then you found out what you didn't know, and that's how you grow.
Yeah.
That's how you grow.
Growth right there. Come on.
All right, let's see what else we can talk about. So the next question is, as you grew up, did you change what you learned about who you are supposed to be and how you are supposed to be? As you've grown up, so you are once a little person, you are told all of these things as you've grown up. What are the things you've retained about your identity? What are the things you've, let go of, and also why did you let go of?
I'll let you go
things?
first. You read the question.
Okay. So what are some of the things that I changed? I think for me it was around the girl thing. So my perspective looks like I am an only girl. I grew up with 3 brothers. So in the homestead, my mom brought me up the best way that she knew how to. And it looked like trying to get me feminine, trying to get me to, we've had dinner, guys have eaten, and she'll prompt you to like clear up the table, to do all of these things. I'm also a last born, so for me it kind of felt like, you're taking a dig at me, you're picking on me, and I didn't get what she was trying to instill in me as values. And I had disdain towards those things that I was being taught. So it might be also the thing about serving. It's not my natural instincts, the hosting thing. I rebelled. When I say I rebelled, it's as bad as maybe even like my dad would come home and I think what my mother would have expected me to do at that point is like run to the kitchen, get him tea, serve him, and it's amazing, right? I'd run away. I'd like go to my room and it's like time out. Yeah, it's like I'm not getting it. I'm rebelling from something that I don't know. So those are some of the things that I let go of. But on the grand scheme of things, growing up, we learned a lot about, like, we were taken to church, we used to pray every night. And obviously, when I took my sabbatical, from God's presence and all of that, it wasn't things that I did. But now, when I'm back into this space, I find that in my own home, every night we pray. Me, my daughter, and my nanny. We just gather, we pray, and then we go to sleep. Every Sunday we go to church, and it's not been prompted. Like it's things that I learned when I was younger that I'm still doing to date. So also just trying to unlearn the whole, or trying to now think back to all the things that were taught to me. I remember one specific thing that my mother always used to tell me, and it was just horrible. This is actually a very horrible one. And she'd keep talking about, like, your husband, don't dress like that. That's your husband. This, and then she'd have these remarks, or you wear a dress and you're thinking, I look nice because it's just around your knees. And then she's like, well, you gotta show all that much skin. And it's like, I remember thinking in that moment, I'm definitely never going to get married when I'm a virgin. I remember thinking that was a goal. Yeah, and oh my God,
you did everything to your ability.
If you had to answer what are some of the things you would go back in time and change, it would definitely be that.
I know, it's the hype around it.
Yeah, I feel like that's also one of the things in our society that has been abused thoroughly, and we have like the wrong perceptions.
It's not even abuse at this point. It's just virginity has been killed by you. There's nothing. By the way, at 9 years old, people are engaging in sex. Watch us who were talking about maybe after school, in high school age. Now it's 9 years old. I'm even worried for anyway. That's a whole different
discussion. Yeah. So I think also for like when it comes to the perception of freedom that I had, what I perceived to be freedom and what I perceive to be freedom now, like that changed for a while, and then it's reverted back. So, and purity. Yeah, I think I said purity. Purity and freedom. Oof. Painful lessons.
Okay. As you grew up, as you grew up, did you change what you learned? Well, there's some things like you said that my mom could do, and now they make sense, and so they seem to stick. Again, I'm a last born, but of 2 girls. There's a very big age gap between me and my sister, and I was the baby, and my mother really babied me, like not babied me, like I could unajua in our era, by the time, have you ever tried telling your dad, I love you?
Yeah.
And did he say I love you back?
Yeah. They
He
tell
did?
us. Yeah.
He did. Wow, that's a boomer who knows what's up. I've seen these things on internet where somebody calls his dad, Dad, I love you. Unataka pesa ngapi? I don't even know how to say I love you back. So
I just say what you want.
yeah, just say what you want. Anashindwa, anasema uko sawa, anaanza kukuuliza maswali. So the context of that in my name is that my mom told me and showed me love. And so I think that's what I do for my children. And why I know that is because there's a difference between I've seen where somebody has not been showered love, and so they don't know how to reciprocate love to their siblings, to their children. And I think that's the one thing me, I grew up, and I have not changed. That is a good thing for me. My mom was really there for me.
Yeah.
And so now my mom also. My mom did the best she could.
Yeah.
Being that she was a single mom.
Yeah.
But they early to career. At a boyfriend for where I think it's yes, me up to 21.
Me, you don't have such things. Not in my age and era. Boyfriend? Are you crazy? What is a boyfriend?
You know those ones that you do for teenage, eh? You know those ones that unakatiwa na you go for funkies.
For the record, when my siblings were getting married, my father would still refer to their spouses as your friend. That's boyfriend. What is that?
Oh, you understand? Then
Is that your friend?
That is the one. So me, my mom, I think based on her story,
yeah,
what she went through, because she got a child when she was young, so mtu akamruka. So I think she
high
did
jump.
Yes, ile kipetero yes, you know what I'm saying. So I think she made a conscious decision that this is not going to be my children. And so you were never seen with boys. My mom, I was in a day school.
Yeah.
Ati unatoka shule for 30 umefika 5. Ukienda, hii place ni 10 minutes. Where have you been?
For
with
40.
boys. For 40 in the house. For 40 in the house, you just be better there na kuona. For 40. And so I think she instilled a discipline in me, which is good and bad. I also remember my mom, I've never seen a man in my home, so I didn't know how to treat her. First of all, unanisho nini? Decisions can be made. Like, women make decisions all the time.
Yeah.
So I can make a decision also.
Submission
For who? So those are the things that I've really tried to change because of the where I grew up. I didn't know how to treat a man. I didn't know how to do submission. I didn't know how to just listen. Yeah. And now it becomes disrespect, especially in the context of marriage, that you're not respecting me as a man of this house, you know. And so what I retain, of course, is now I know, because I know tangible love, I really shower my children with love. I never want them to go to a space where there's a man who is, because a man is hugging you,
you feel like that's love.
I feel like that's love. You already get it from home. And I try to encourage my husband. You know, I may do it as a woman, but they will not fit. They're girls. I'm a mother of girls. So me as a woman hugging her, okay. But when her dad hugs her and actually with a base says I love you, kuna base ingine itaimwambia I love you, oh no. It's like I've heard that somewhere else. What are you doing better?
Yeah.
You know. And so those are some of the things I've tried to change. How I relate to men independence, how I talk to my husband and everything, but also retain the love that I felt in there.
That's amazing.
I don't know if I've answered that question. I feel as if I've been everywhere. This question, I've been up and down and everywhere. I know. Yeah, so the next question is, how has society and environment changed your identity? Wow. Society. Society, baby. Society should be just.
First, who are you defining as society? When you say society, who are you?
I think it's the community that surrounds you.
So who are you? Who are you calling society? Is it your auntie? Is it your mother? Is it your? It's
everything that is around. Your school, your peers, your friends, your teachers, the people who are authority in your life, your parents. Social media now. Yeah. Social media now is a big thing of society. Yeah, because they set a standard, and that's what you're gauged against. Yeah. And so that makes the society. And so this question of how has that society changed my identity? It has really kept me in the dark for so long. Kept me in the dark for so long. Okay. My identity was, are you married? Remember me, I have always never wanted to go back to that life. Yeah. So am I wealthy enough? That was my identity. So because people are out here clouting, going to Dubai. Yeah. out here in the gram doing all these things. That was the start. Like, if you are to make it, as in these people are rich. This is the identity. Rich people, they even hang out together. It becomes a whole thing.
Yeah.
So society has, again, also society speaks of what's my identity in terms of ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unfortunate. I think that is what fueled post-election violence, to be quite honest, because people identified as one tribe and another tribe.
Mm-hmm.
It's an identity thing. At that point, they stopped being children of God, they stopped being fathers, and they just became this tribe and this tribe. So I think society, for me, it has really moved the goalpost for me so many times based on what is social media, what are the people around me saying, that you're too loud, you should be quiet. Not everybody wants to hear what you want to say.
Yeah.
So it has really tried to move the focus, not the goalpost, the focus. The focus of the real identity. What's my true identity is.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, this identity thing is, I'm just all over. I'm just trying to figure my identity also. Like I said, it's a journey. Tell us about yours.
Okay. So when I think of society and environment,
I think you've been doing environment, but go on.
Environment, same thing, yeah. I'm thinking back at when I was a young girl, and there's a time like I'd be home alone, right? Since I'm the last born, all my other older siblings are not home because maybe they're in high school, and I'm watching TV, and there are these girls on TV, and they're all sexy, and they're wearing their tumbo cuts, and they look all mini. And then in this video vixen, there's always Asha who's chasing the hot babe.
Of course.
You know, and there are all of these boys who you're looking at and you're thinking you're so beautiful. And you end up creating or setting a standard for, I ended up creating a standard for myself that I needed to look a certain way for me to be, you know, the pretty girl with the boy chasing. And so you remember we were talking about like a circle of girls and it tends to, so when you can't be the pretty girl,
you choose the next best thing.
And you can't be the pretty girl so because you're failing and you're falling. And you know, they make clubbing look so interesting and exciting. So you think for me to be cool, for me to be exciting, for me to, you know, attract these boys for the money, the whatever, and you kind of think you need to be in a certain setting. And I think this is one of the things that I have seen in the society where as a girl, you see other girls and they're prospering, and then the backstory is always like there's a guy who's funding this, and the reason she's getting this money, this fame, this whatever is because she's trading like sexual favors for all of these things she gets, and it becomes this whole and you have to wonder like, is this a thing? I remember this joke my friend and I used to have, be like, imagine being so pretty that you're a manager of a manager. There's this guy who goes to work, he works for his money, and then at the end of the month he's sending you money. Like, what kind of powers do you have? You have like superpowers, you know? And just having this, trying to be like, is my thing a pretty girl? Is my thing a smart girl? And there's so many people telling me there's so many options, there's so many boxes. You have or you could be really smart and you could get a job, or you could do this, or you're a girl. But then if you go to the marketplace, girls are generally working construction, so there's this notion that you're a girl, there's only so much you can do, you can achieve as a girl. And just being stranded in these different places of society, like I'm 37, I'm single, I have a baby, no husband, no, and you know, you just find that society will just end up clustering you. You're a single mother, you're a this, you're a that, and it kind of, the pressure, it gets to you. Like there's nothing you're winning. You don't have the husband, the job is over here, it comes, it goes. It's, you know, you've been at the same position for so long, and it troubles your heart, it weighs you down, it exhausts you.
There's no
it sucks out the life. Yeah, when you have to like, and that's what happens depending on the identity you choose. Yeah, you have to sustain it if you're the source of your identity. Because what happens when you're having a hard week and you've not been able to do them other things you're supposed to do, or jobo, your deadlines, your whatever, everything is just boundary, and it's horrible, because then at that point as a human being you're failing. But just having society, even like the way everything is just defined, the way society will just give you that pressure for you need to get married, you need to have money, you need to have a house, you're old, you need to have a husband.
40 is where is 40?
Yeah, where is your second baby? Where is all of these things? And sometimes it's not one person who's telling you this, it's just you look around and other people have these different puzzles that you don't have, and you start to think in your mind, and and yeah, society, peer pressure.
I feel
like your friends get you to that place where you feel like you need to have this, you need to have that. And
I think it's the
stretched
pressure.
too many different.
I like the pressures thing, but the best part about it is that being the child of God is the easiest. There are no demands on you. There is no you're 37. You are not married. Being that identity is the easiest to be. So what do you have to be a child of God? Ideally, what demand?
Obedience. Follow, obey.
Is there like time frames? Should you be? Me, by the way, I didn't see. It's so funny now I'm saying it to you.
Yeah.
It was sold so much that being a light skin, by the way, we make it. I'm sitting here next to a light skin who's talking about not being pretty. It's so funny. I was just listening to her thinking, huh? What struggles are those? You're light. I remember melanin was never really appreciated. That it's like if you're light, kama unakaa bana, the fact that you're light, uko tu sawa. And so I feel as if these demands that are put on us by society, because I think nobody actually knows. Child of God is the easiest. Society, they are guessing.
Yeah.
Maybe should be light. Kidogo people are going to be added sitting areas. Kidogo. Covetousness is what is rating. There was another time that being actually a size 6 was a bigger thing. Unakumbuka when figure 8, it was
still a thing. Now it's the size 8 with calves.
That one was bila calves.
Expectations.
Imagine that was previously, and then now there's a demand of the bigger the behind. The better, the bigger,
Yeah.
And so the demands keep on changing with society. But for me, the child of God, if you do disobedience, that's it. I mean, not disobedience. When you do obedience, I think that's the easiest thing for me. Yeah? And that's why, is this me or you?
Should be. Yeah. Alright, so, yeah. Okay, so I think the last one was, now that we've been talking about identity, and just trying to look at what it means, where we've been. How would you say, like in this moment, in this discussion, are you having a mind shift about your identity? Like, is it affecting how you would, for example, teach your children, or the people around you? Like, how do you get to a place of identity? Like, talking about it, I think for me, I've actually grown to have this passion about like identity, like just knowing who you are and why you're the way you are, and just talking about it. It keeps, that game you were saying, the dance between the roles I do and the person I'm supposed to be. That dance, like it's a constant thing. But so game night yesterday, we were playing with my colleagues, and this young lady, she mentioned that the best advice she's ever received is you everything is hard, you get to choose your hard. So it's the same thing, I think, with identity. You will have to choose your hard. It's hard when you don't know, it's hard when you know, but you have to keep going at it. And making this something that's conscious for me is making me just aware of the fact that my daughter needs to know from as young as she is now, today. And we've been playing this game where I keep asking her, who are you? And then I told her, you're a child of God. So now every time you ask her, who are you? She says, I'm a child of God. Then you ask her name and she'll answer what her name is. Just creating that distinction in her mind so that she knows, like, life is hard, but that doesn't affect who you are. And who you are affects how you experience your hard things in life. So it's really important for me. And just sharing that even with everybody. Like, you need to know, you need to be aware, you need to be aware of how it affects your decisions, how it affects your career choices, how it affects the decisions you make, everything about your life. Just at the end of the day, it comes back to who you are. Like typically when you're saying something like, "Hey, mimi ingekuwa mimi siwezi fanya hivyo." Like where does that come from? It's because you've put yourself at a certain level and you think about yourself a certain way that ultimately determines what you do and what you don't do, what you take, what you won't take. Yeah.
Wow. That's deep. Where? Hey, will I match that? Anyway,
Yeah.
I like what you're saying. How you mentioned earlier nobody told you.
Yeah.
We said nobody actually taught us about identity.
Yeah.
And so I've purposed myself to make sure, because to be honest, it's not like I know.
Yeah.
But as I find out,
yes,
they will know. As I find out, they will know. A big part of myself was that being that I'm small, I'm small bodied. Most of the places, even in school, I used to kale kadogo. That was my identity. One of my identities. I remember when there's a teacher who called me, she's as small like a rat.
She said you're small like a rat.
Oh. I was tiny, but not rodent. Small. And so that's an identity. I've been small all my life. It became an identity. Even mpaka wewe unajisema sasa sisi wadogo unataka kusema hivyo. So I think it played to my self-esteem.
Yeah.
It played
in
to
a
my
bad way or
confidence.
in a good
In a bad way, of course.
Okay, that's actually an interesting thing for me to hear, like the light thing comment, because like the tiny chicks are always the chicks who all the guys like, you're easy to carry, or nakumbuka tukitwa kwanza there's a part of mine who no alikuwa aliitwa laptop, si tukitwa ma desktop. Wow, thank you. Hallelujah.
I know I've had
like when people, even there's a road trip, everybody's like, I can carry that one. It's a tiny chip.
I don't know. Okay, it's funny. I have a problem with it, and you are finding it like nice, like a good thing. It's funny because sometimes it translates to even opinions. So like opinion yangu itasikizwa sana ni mjumini mdogo. Unajua wananiweka some place. And so I didn't really like it. I didn't really like it. And so it played in my self-esteem. It made me as if I didn't have a... And then there's this thing, short man syndrome. Again, another identity.
Is that a chick thing or a guy?
It's a short people thing. Man or woman.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And so I think that's why it plays into my noise. I have to make noise to be seen. Otherwise, nitapotelea tu katikati ya watu. Unajua?
Yeah.
And so that became an identity. And to be honest, even right now, it's an unlearning thing for me. This is not who I am. It's an unlearning thing for me. Okay. And so it focused in my self-esteem and in my confidence. At some point, I started believing, okay, maybe I don't have an opinion that somebody can listen to. And that's a big thing for me and my children.
Yeah.
I tell my children, you have something to say? You say it.
Yeah.
Nobody should tell you have nothing to say. As stupid as it is. Okay, I don't tell them the stupid part, but I encourage them. You should be able to stand up for yourself and get listened to. Nobody should ever show you at you tonight keep quiet or you tonight. Okay, well my tonight is not for keeping quiet, but I have purpose, confidence kwanza. I make sure, and it comes from also self-esteem. I make sure I tell them you're beautiful. I know from me to not make a difference, again, like I said, the dad will do a better job of affirming the beauty. But I tell her, so that she never hears it from other kiambu, you're ugly, you know. But there, I know. So I have purpose to make sure their self-esteem will not... it will start from me. The conversation will start from me. The affirmations.
Yeah.
And also there's a confidence and the self-esteem.
Yeah.
That's what I have purpose to do based on, again, based on the fact that nobody taught me identity, I have purpose to do that. But also when time comes, especially in the sexual conversation, I know this we'll discuss on a later day, but I have purpose, they will hear it from me. They will hear it from me. And it will not be for bees and, you say bees and what?
Birds and bees.
Birds and bees. I'm a stock, just stop bringing a child. No.
Wow.
No, I have purpose, miss is really a sex home. To be quite honest. And that's why I think I was faltering huko. Just doing the most, trying to teach myself.
Okay.
Well, of course, it will not be graphic. It will not be for you. This is how you treat your husband. No. This is what it is. And when you do this, is how the consequences. But I want them to hear from me. And so their self-esteem is very important, their confidence is very important in the identity conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think also maybe just to close up on that, there's this thing, like I mentioned earlier, when you're brought up by, moms, and I got this from a conversation I had with a friend. Like, there's this thing our moms do. It's meant to help us be submissive, I think, and be someone who is a proper woman, I believe. But then when you grow up, you're taught how to be quiet as a girl, not talk, not be too loud. But what happens is, and I've personally experienced this, you go like into the workspace and you're working with guys, and guys are cutthroat. Every time they want something, they'll just say it. And we were taught how to be a bit, not intentionally, but that's the take home. You can manipulate your way into situations because you're a woman, instead of just coming up and saying, hey, this is me, this is what I've done, this is the recognition I want. Like, give me this pay rise, give me this, give me that, give me the other. We don't do that. You will be as nice as possible, and then you go and complain to other people that I do all of this and my boss never recognizes, I do all of this and he doesn't appreciate. Because that communication thing of you just sitting and waiting. So that's also been something that society has done to women, like be quiet, keep quiet, and especially in our African society, if you look at like politicians, even the women, every time you're loud and people can hear you, they're like, calm down,
people are
you're a woman,
for
be quiet, and part of just society defining something about you that's
Unfortunately, I think it's our parents taught us that because that's what they were taught.
And they knew.
And
it was supposed to work.
It was supposed to work. Unfortunately for us, the game changed. And we have to be vocal. Like me being in business, and I'm in a business where I meet drivers and conductors or mechanics. You have to, by the way, you just have to.
You have to be
because they'll take advantage of you. They'll want to speak to you the way they want to speak to you, or they'll make comments like shrewd and kind of sexual alluring and demeaning and chauvinism kind of comments. But it's you bring it. You have to ascertain yourself. And me, I know how to do that because based on the fact that I have been practicing all my life. No, because I feel as if I've been a short person. I've been practicing my voice. We can go one-on-one, and it's a very thin line from keeping it obedient.
Yeah.
It's a very thin line because
you find your identity as a child of
God.
Testing.
It's very testing, and for you to keep it true and still be hard. So these things, again, like we said, we are learning.
Yeah.
Your mom will tell you, my mommy, I don't think we had that conversation. Man, revealing, she even had she didn't know. She was not in that relationship.
Yeah.
And so I think she left me for the Lord.
And the Lord did a good job. So.
He did amazing. It's me. And so that's identity and what it has done for us and what we have been learning.
But also for us to remember that we are society also.
We should.
So even this is just part of being the society and playing into this whole role. Yeah. So it's key, it's critical, it's amazing. So welcome.
Thank you so much. And that I think has been our third episode. We've done our third episode.
Woohoo! Good stuff.
I hope you're getting something. Because like we said, we are on this journey together.
Yeah.
I hope you're understanding something. I hope you're auditing. I hope you're auditing some of the things that you know and you're unlearning. What you. I think the best thing that can come out of this is when people question themselves, because then you go do a research, you'll try and answer these questions, and then it will propel you and lead you to the ultimate identity that you're supposed to be, and that is our main goal. That's our main goal. And so
capitalize.
Because you've been here for the third episode. We want to thank you so much for you've kept on showing up, and so share this, please. We ask that you share with somebody who needs to hear this kind of conversation. Comment, of course, and subscribe, guys, because we are learning, and then we learn together. And that has been our episode today. Until next time,
stay blessed.
Adios.